Cybertron, our home. For generations it has been a peaceful world, until pride and a lust for power divided us. Now we fight enemies who were once our brothers. Our tragic war has ravaged Cybertron.
It is a necessary war to return us to glory.
The Autobots will never sacrifice freedom.
The Decepticons will bring this world to order!
Our defeat would mean the end of everything.
My victory will mark a brilliant new beginning!
One shall stand.
One shall fall!
Hi. Yes, I'm now a PNG YouTuber, shut up. This gotta be the biggest project I've ever made. Even bigger than Ultra Act 2 playthrough, even though that was just a playthrough. This video is a quick recap of the story of Transformers vs Cybertron, the good one, and few words here and there about the gameplay side. Anyway, from the intro all we know so far is that one day Decepticons and Autobots lived peacefully, until pride and a lust for power divided them. And now they're at war, with Decepticons trying to make a new world order, with Megatron as Cybertron's lord, while Autobots are attempting at suppressing such heresy in Primus' name. Now, you can start playing as Autobots, ignoring the first half of the game, but we're not here for that. We need the full story, and we're playing as Decepticons, starting... For Megatron to defeat the Autobots, he has to find a weapon powerful enough to end the war. An energy source known as Dark Energon, produced on an orbital station and protected by Sky Commander Starscream, has potential to be that weapon, so Megatron orders his Decepticons to infiltrate it. For this and further chapters I recommend picking any character with cooldown ability Dash. It adds movement and is generally better to have than what? Cloaking, Barrier and Hover. While Hover can also be used for movement, other two are just useless in my opinion. Cloaking immediately turns off the second you get hit or shoot your weapon, so it's not that useful. And you can't shoot through Barrier. What's the point of it if you can already hide behind any other cover, made of levels props? They're even better considering the Barrier doesn't last forever. So yeah, bro it is. Starscream is smart enough to not let anyone get a hold of such powerful energon. So Megatron, alongside Bro, Bargain and a small army of Decepticon troops, -1, charges right in the center of the orbital station on a spaceship. Unsurprisingly, they survive the crash. Once they're in, the hologram of Starscream greets them. Megatron claims the station as Decepticon property, and Starscream tells him to fuck off, activating the turrets. Megatron, destroying the turrets with ease, gets greeted by other Decepticons who survived. So for now his mission is to take control over the station. On a path to ambush Starscream ambush, Soundwave goes in, information about establishing a temporary command center, so we have to meet him there. And here you can see the beauty of the dash, because without it you can't take Ion Displacer with you. We are making it to Soundwave's forward base. He has secured a portion of the station, but Starscream has blocked off any routes to Dark Energon. and without any star cruisers we can tunnel the way in. Fortunately, scanners indicated a nearby biometric center, which can reveal other ways to Dark Energon, so they go there, taking the station's hologram. Oh, and here goes my first death. How pathetic. Without dying to a bullshit rocket, Soundwave informs us about a yet to lock down path in the production facility. It will be used to create machines for spreading Dark Energon all over Cybertron's surface. Said surface can be seen through the demolished portion of the station. The reason behind such annihilation is the quantity of Dark Energon becoming unstable. And with that, the Decepticon trio arrives at the station's Dark Energon facility. Starscream, in shock, orders his guards to hold them off, while he starts the program to destroy the remnants of Dark Energon. And in one area you can even see Skywarp, Thundercracker and Jetfire working on something in the background. The trio gets to the place, destroys the last forces of Starscream Armada, blasts the containment field, and with Starscream whining, Megatron steps inside.
What? This isn't possible! No! No one can control Dark Energon! It dominates and destroys everything it touches!
I am the Dominator! I am the Destroyer! I am Megatron!
And overcomes the destroying nature of Dark Energon, taming its power. And now he meets Starscream and Jetfire face to face. Starscream betrays Jetfire, asking Megatron to teach him how to control Dark Energon. But the Dark Energon supplies are nearly exhausted, so Megatron orders him to produce more. And the only way to make more is by reactivating an energon breach. Taking Thundercracker cause again, Dash, anxious to prove themselves worthy, the secret trio rushes to Cybertron to reconnect the energon breach, so Megatron could manufacture more Dark Energon. And so their quest starts. After flying a bit, Thundercracker detects the path to Breach's core, and it gets blocked by the Autobots, so they need another way in. But the only way in lies beneath them. Skipping raw energon and a fan, they see their entrance through the canyon, but is being blocked by a shield generator on Autobot's ship. After dealing with the ship's power core, the entrance is clear. But what do we see after Autobot conquers? Another shield generator. This time into the underground. Destroying the shield, the entrance unlocks. Now the secret trio needs to reroute power to the energon breach via terminals. Getting to the first terminal activated its automatic defense systems. Surpassing it and pressing a button revealed an Autobot ambush. More fools rush to their death. Suppressing the ambush, Thundercracker informs the other two that the station is only at 50%. They need a second terminal. Sadly for me, the terminal is heavily protected by a bullshit area which I dread playing. When I finally defeat the arena, the trio turns on the terminal, and now the main event, the Guardian. A fair boss, but I can never destroy every single cannon of his. But after he's defeated, the Dark Energon takes over the control, activating the energon breach itself. Starscream and his seekers are now officially Decepticons. Megatron plans to corrupt Cybertron's core, but he needs an Omega key located in Aekant and protected by Zeta Prime to unlock the gateway to the core. These last chapters you can only choose between the same three cons, so each time I'll take a different one. Starting with Breakdown. Megatron launches a full attack on Iacon with only one mission to take the Omega key, while Starscream is in the front lines. Megatron, Soundwave and Breakdown are moving behind enemy lines. Unsurprisingly, Dark Energon melts the Autobots. What it also melts are gates to the Stellar Galleries. Corrupting security pillar, they can proceed to Stellar Galleries to find an Omega. Oh no, it's an empty container. Zeta took the key to guard it himself, and now our mission is not only to get the Omega key, but also pay Zeta Prime a visit. To save time, they have to ride train tracks, which are honestly the best part of this chapter. Not for the mines, but for this. Arriving to that station, we can proceed through some more train tracks, just to misclick and fucking miss a cutscene with Bro. Meeting him at Icon Vaults, Megatron takes L with Dark Energon. Apparently he needs more power. Megatron orders more Dark Energon bombers, but they are destroyed by the anti-aircraft guns, destroying the anti-aircraft guns and surviving a whole Autobot army. The Icon Vaults are finally down. And now we can pay a visit to Zeta Prime. This boss fight is kinda, mid. But what isn't is this plot twist. The device Megatron thought was an Omega key itself can only activate the real Omega key. Omega Supreme. With Zeta Prime down, Megatron races above the skies in pursuit of the real Omega Key, Omega Supreme. For this chapter I will use Soundwave to save Megatron for last. I will not get used to not having dash. The pursuit ends with Omega Supreme intercepting the Kaons. Breakdown, being a dumbass, thinks nothing of it, not until Omega reveals himself. And after Omega throws the ship into a building, the gameplay starts. Starscream goes in, and we meet him at Nevermind. He destroys the dropship. Kicking him off the bridge doesn't do shit, so we run inside. Omega seems tough, but Soundwave detects ion turrets, so we need to get to them. Distracting Omega from mounting the door, we get to the elevator with annoying locks. Huge mistake. Omega won't leave Megatron so easily, and after falling down a floor or two we flee away. We distract Omega again by Starscream so we can deal with the Autobots and progress further, but not that further, cause Omega destroyed the way. So we change our course and find, Anyway. Extending the bridge, we drive, again, cause nothing really happens in this chapter. Finally, we're at the second elevator, which lifts us directly to the iron turrets. Clearing the turret platform of the Autobots, the boss fight starts. Dealing enough damage, Omega Supreme falls, unable to fly or flee. Omega Supreme takes his last stand against Megatron's fury. Decepticons, flabbergasted by Omega's survival, notice energon batteries rising from the floor, from which Omega regenerates his power. Corrupting said batteries with dark energon, Omega becomes vulnerable, a perfect moment to deal damage. After some time, Omega initiates repairs. Unfortunately for him, that means he has to open up his chest for cooling down purposes? I don't know. Shooting said open chest cavity and corrupting it with dark energon defeats Omega. And now Megatron has access to Cybertron's core. With Zeta Prime gone, Optimus takes his place to rebel against Megatron's tyranny. For this chapter I chose Bumblebee, saving Optimus for a bit later. Bumblebee brings bad news to Optimus. Zeta Prime is dead, and the High Council has gone silent. Regrouping with others and telling Jetfire Zeta Prime's demise, he asks us to get the planetary guns back online, and through some Decepticons we do get them online. Now we need to get the communication grid online, which is located in Decagon. So we have to reach the Iacon Speedway first. On our way, Ratchet senses an electrotetronic anomaly, which was caused by Decepticon's war machine. No, not that one. The one that spreads dark energon and destroys everything it touches. In other news, we get to the Speedway, but we have to kill some Decepticons first, and after talking to Jetfire,
Autobots, roll out!
But then, Soundwave comes out of nowhere and blasts them through the path, making us fall. Fuck! Anyway, another war machine. But this time we fight it. Well, that was easy. Also apparently if we shoot the roots of Dark Energon, the spikes will collapse, meaning Iacon can repair itself. We're getting closer to Decagon, but the main event only starts. With Ironhide's help, we can move inside, but to properly reconnect the communication grid we have to get... And so we have to find the lift. It's broken. Anyway, we can reactivate the grid from here. No big worries. What is worrying is getting to the broadcasting room on top to reconnect Iacon's defenses. With the lift broken, we have to ride Energon's shells to get up, but we can take an actual lift to get to the broadcasting room. But then, Jetfire tells us that Starscream is heading our way. Uh-oh. Defeating Starscream is annoying as fuck. But once we're done, a sudden hologram of Zeta Prime appears. Apparently, he is not dead, but rather extremely damaged and held in a city prison. Kaon, despite knowing that this is an obvious trap, Optimus decides to risk it and save Zeta. Optimus assembles a group of Autobots to infiltrate Kaon and save Zeta Prime. I think having this segment is redundant. Just pick anyone with dash and you shall be fine. Plan works out, and now we're being taken to Kaon. Stepping inside we meet Soundwave. He sends us to recycling, and guess what they're recycling? Autobots. And we're next, by the way. Until Air Raid shows up to save us, heading to service docks to access lower prison levels, cause it's probably where Zeta is. While we were hiding in docks, Air Raid gets taken by the Trypticons. Now we have 2 Autobots to rescue. Jumping out of hiding, we finally get a gun. Weird how the AI gets EMP shotguns, but you can only pick a photon rifle. Anyway, after killing some more Decepticons and taking a walk-rower trip down, we find ourselves in Megatron's trap. He knew Optimus will come for Zeta Prime. He orchestrated it all to take Optimus before him. Megatron and Optimus agree on the war hurting Cybertron, but Megatron gives an ultimatum. If Optimus wants to end the war, he and his Autobots have to leave Cybertron, and if he won't, they will face complete annihilation. Optimus disagrees. Cybertron is his home too. He will stay, he will fight, and he will win. Megatron cheats and teleports us right into the prison cell, disarmed and disgraced. But do not fret, Optimus has one more trick in his sleeves. A fucking axe. Escaping the cell, we take the leftover guns, being an EMP shotgun and neutron assault rifle. Now we need to find Airy. And look at that! How convenient, but it won't be easy getting him out. 2 separate switches has to be turned off to set him free. First one will deactivate the defense system, a second power shield or whatever it's supposed to be. But we're not finished yet. We need to rescue all other Autobots. Unfortunately, Zeta Prime is held in the maximum security bunker on the lower levels. But what is fortunate is the switch controlling all hardlock prison cells. And why not cause some havoc? Turning it off opens up the cells, freeing Autobots. Optimus orders air raid to escort them to safety, leaving us behind. We have the last job to do, taking another trip down in a walk-rower and a race for your life. We reach our last destination, Zeta Prime's cell. We enter and are greeted by still alive Zeta until Soundwave transforms. The cycle for this boss is easy. Shoot the turrets, wait until Soundwave ejects the minicon, damage Soundwave, repeat until Soundwave sucks up Zeta's energon, causing death. The High Council exists only to choose the Prime, and with Zeta finally dead, the last Prime shall rise, and his name is Optimus. Cybertron's core, infected with Megatron's dark energon, will soon doom them all. Optimus, now Prime, has to cure the core. Cybertron is corrupted with dark energon, and Optimus Prime has to cleanse the core to save the world. But first, he needs to rescue Omega Supreme. Optimus Prime, Ironhide and Warpath charge into the Omega Gate, but Warpath accidentally activates a trap, letting the Decepticons know of their presence. Omega Supreme is devastated, and Ratchet can't access the terminal remotely. Not before sabotaging the power grid. After unlocking security console, we can release Omega's restraints, both of them, setting Omega Supreme free. But he cannot open the Omega Gate like this, too weak. While we await Ratchet, we can shoot some Decepticons, cause why not? And he's here, and now comes my least favorite part in the whole chapter. Anyway, Ratchet is done with repairs, and the Omega Supreme can finally open Omega Gates. Sadly, Ratchet isn't completely done with repairing Omega, so he stays behind. Now we can proceed to the core. Oh look, a space slug. Funny bit. Remember how Optimus said in chapter 2 that his axe needs time to recharge? Well, not anymore, and it somehow can cut through these brittle shards. I guess Dark Energon truly does destroy everything it touches. Same with the Skulker. Thank you, Space Slug. After completely annihilating the Decepticons, we meet a strange creature, Corrupted Worm. It leaves a trail of Dark Energon and is generally a pain in the rear bumper. Dismissing the creature. I said dismissing the creature. We can see fuck.
Optimus! The floor's collapsing!
The foe separated us, and no signs of space slugs can be found. After regrouping with Ironhide and Warpath, I always save this space slug. And you should too. Taking a lift down, we achieve the lowest levels of the underground. The core entrance is right across all this Dark Energon, and after crossing it and opening the gate, we can finally cure. God damn it, not you again. Fuck you. Eat energon and die. Optimus faces the core, and it reveals sad news. Even though the core can heal itself from the corruption, the process is way too long, and it leaves Cybertron cold and lifeless. If Transformer race wants to survive, they have to leave Cybertron. The core lends to Optimus a piece of its spark, the matrix of leadership, and the longer the matrix survives, the longer will core survive. The Transformers race has to leave Cybertron, but Megatron stands in the way of survival, so the Autobots have to stop him. Optimus sends out a signal informing all Autobots of the evacuation. Megatron, seeing all these ships, orders his orbital station to destroy all spaceships trying to flee. To have a chance of survival, Optimus orders Steel Bolt, air raid, and jetfire the destruction of the station. Following an energon beam, our mission begins. In order to turn the thing off, we have to cut out the energon powering the station, and to do so we have to first enter the relay station. There it is. And Decepticons as well. Destroying Station Defender, we can disable the safety locks and shoot the control node. Making our way inside through exhaust tube, we appear in a coolant room. Disrupting the process will cause overheat and permanent shutdown of the weapon. Destroying the cores activated the alert and raised the control panel, through which we can get access to the coolant pump. Once on the spot, we destroy the pump, causing overheat even more. And now we have to lower the coolant level itself, and the panel is lower than the coolant level. But first, X12 Scrap Maker, and second, the panel got shielded from us by Megatron. After 3 waves of Decepticon siege, Megatron turns off the shield, allowing us to lower the coolant level. Not sure why he did this, but okay. But simply causing overheat isn't enough. We need to overload the boost regulator. On our way we can see what havoc we have caused. Many Decepticons in suffering, dying. The whole station is in critical state. But we do not care. Our mission is straight. Rise the plasma level above the limit. Barely escaping the explosion, we find out we did all this for nothing. Because oh wow, who would have thought this valuable piece of Megatron's forces has a backup system. What a surprise. But hope still remains. We can disable orbital cannon in the inside. Moving past the blockade, we find out the station can talk. Now that's an unexpected surprise, and it's about to shoot Iacon. Moving inside through energy conduit and erasing Decepticons from existence, an idea appears in Aeraid's mind. If the station can talk and has a mind of its own, it's probably a Cybertronian. And if it's a Cybertronian, it has to have transformation cog. And if we destroy it, Trypticon won't be able to say in a gun form, forcing him to transform into his main form. And we gotta hurry. Trypticon is about to make a direct hit on Optimus Prime. Defeating security turrets, the cog exposes. Destroying it causes the transformation sequence. Teeth. And there he is. There's Trypticon. He is heading straight to Cybertron, so why not cause malfunction in his backpack to make him meet the planet's surface faster? And he loses control, crashing into Cybertron. Even though Trypticon crashed into Cybertron, he is not defeated. Optimus, alongside Bumblebee and Ironhide, races to the crash site. Trypticon reveals himself, and our battle begins. Trypticon, with all his might, is still vulnerable to overheating, and that's how we destroy him. First, his throttle cannons, both of them. Then his tits, also both of them. And last his backpack. And now, Trypticon has fallen. Twice. And there you have it, the game's story. Now, let's talk about the story and the game itself. I have left few moments here and there in many enemy encounters. The whole game is half a cinematics, half mindless shooting, but it's no different to all the other games from that decade, and even today. It's a cover shooter, so some will be turned off by it. But it's a great game nonetheless. It has few dumb moments, like why can't we carry more than 2 weapons at once? It's not like we have to literally carry them, like in all other similar games, where the explanation has more sense. Here it's just, nope, you can take a third gun, just because. In Full Cybertron, at least, they explain it by dividing first weapon slot as light weaponry and heavy weaponry, and for both of them, different ammo exists. And the dash. Why can't our character dash? This sure as hell can in Full Cybertron, but here it's only a handful of Decepticons and half of the Autobots. Granted, in Full Cybertron you can double jump, but that's besides the point. What else? The soundtrack here is amazing. I fucking love this button when I am. Diver Bates did a fantastic job, but what's not fantastic is the OST. While yes, some tracks are great, others are just wrong. Like the sudden change in it's just weird. I also wish some of the DLC characters were implemented into the story, even as a background character. Sort of like Jazz and RC in the 7th chapter, right after they set the imprisoned Autobots free. Other than that, I don't really see any plot holes or story problem. It may be because I'm stupid, I don't know. On the unrelated note, sorry I haven't made this video faster. Had you waiting for it, and I will make you wait for the full Cybertron story. Don't expect it to be before 2023. But anyway, thank you for watching. And even though I don't usually ask you for it, leave a like and subscribe. I gotta keep the YouTube grind.